Hey guys, Joe from survivethewild.us. Me and my brother out for a night. We snowshoed in. I'm not sure how far we came in. Maybe a mile and a half. I'm not sure. Not too far. It was a long mile and a half, man. I mean, it was trudging slow and steady through the snow to try not to, sweat too much. But you can see we got this is the spot we're gonna set up in. This is my coat. There's my top pack and my harness. Jake was pulling his gear on a sled behind him. There's Jake right there, and his coat and his harness on the tree over there. But we're gonna set up. This is an old rock wall, and it's the best we can find right now. That's us looking for spots going over there. So we're gonna use what we got in between these two trees, and there's a rock wall, and this area is a little bit flat, and we're gonna dig it out and build a shelter the best we can. But it's gonna get down to 0 tonight, so it's gonna be cold. And we're not planning on having a big fire in our shelter, with a rock backer like we usually do. Maybe a little fire, but we don't want to melt the snow. So it's a different kind of setup tonight. So we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, we're gonna freeze. So see. Well, you can see it's starting to get darker. I don't know how much light we got left, but there's Jake, and we got some hemlock down here. This is our shelter over here that we're putting together, so you can see it, what we got. Move over here. So there's a bed of hemlock. That's the bed that we have thus far. We're doing a little lean-to type setup that we'll cover all in later. And still haven't got this, starting a fire or anything like that. But it's starting to get dark, and we still have a lot of work to do. So try to turn my headlamp on so you can see something, or I'll hold it here. I think I'm on full blast, yeah. Hopefully you can see. So temperature's starting to drop. It's getting dark. We're working on covering up our shelter now. We've got the bed. We've got a nice bed, and we're about at the most we're about 5 inches off the ground. So if our fire starts to melt the snow a little bit, or what's left of the snow, it'll go under us rather than us living on mud. So that's very important to think of ahead of time. Especially in the winter, get your bed up off the ground. Then we got the frame here, and we're going to work on covering that now. Well, Jake's going to work on covering the frame. I'm going to work on getting the fire bed made. And all the work we've done, we have absolutely no wood for the fire yet. So we're going to be collecting wood in the dark. It's not because we forgot to. It's just because this type of shelter building takes time. That's it. So, all right guys, so we're about 5 hours at least into the work, and yeah, well, we thought we were gonna end up with a big snow shelter, but time and materials, and it getting down to 0 tonight, we went with what we know works, except for slightly modified. So what we did is, well, I don't think my camera's focusing that fast because it's so cold. We'll get a picture of it from the inside later, but we basically did our normal shelter up against a rock wall. Between those two trees, we set up kind of a lean-to structure to start with. But what we did is we actually have somewhat of a two-layer system this time. We've got, so we're kind of using the Cody Lundeen Super Shelter modified to our existing structure, the way that we like to use it. On the ceiling, on the first layer, so we've got two layers. So now instead of it being a single wall, it's a double wall. On the ceiling, just above us, and again, I'll get shots from inside when, you know, once we get, we don't even have a fire going yet, but we have an emergency blankets right on the ceiling. Then we put sticks over top of that to make an air barrier of a couple inches. And then we put plastic sheeting and then my poncho tarp on the other side to cover it again. So we're hoping that between the heat from a small fire reflecting down onto us, like the super shelter, except we don't have the plastic sheet to make the greenhouse effect. But we'll still have the heat reflecting back onto us, and whatever heat is coming out from the transfer will get trapped between the plastic and my poncho. So we're hoping that a smaller fire will keep us, you know, cozy enough, and we have a huge bed. Again, I'll show it in from the inside, but a real nice bed built up off the ground in case the snow melts a little bit and it gets wet in there. But anyways, we got to get a fire going and get in, and the temperature's dropping real fast now. But that's it for now. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's freaking coyotes out there. Lots of them. Try to get more of that noise later. Nope, just try to give them... It's rolling. Oh guys, we're in our shelter. That's the emergency blanket up there. Fire's right there. It's a much lower shelter. We had to, it was higher. We actually lowered it to try to keep the heat in. It's really cold. The fire's doing okay now, but you know, it's okay back here, but thus far it's been pretty cold. Our feet have gotten cold on and off. We haven't eaten a good meal yet, so we're trying to get the fire up, get our morale up, get a hot meal in us, warm up our cores, so we can make it through the evening here. But thus far, it's been pretty cold. A lot of work. All right, recording. Hey guys, well, it's about 11 o'clock at night, and we just ate some meal, ate some couple MREs to get the calories in us. We've got most of all of our insulation on, so we're gonna try to get some sleep here in a few, and the fire's gonna go out. We're not gonna stoke the fire all night. It's just taking too much effort, and we need to try to get some sleep, so we're both gonna hunker down. I just have an emergency blanket and a fleece blanket that I'm gonna get in with all my stuff, and just hope for the best that I stay warm enough. Jake's got a sleeping bag and a bivvy, so he should be better than me. We'll see. So that's where it stands right now. I'm gonna try to hopefully get some sleep, even though it's gonna be real cold. So See how it goes.
Morning, YouTube. It was cold. Made it through the night though. My security blanket. That's our view. That's where the fire would be. That's Jake and his bivvy. Get my legs working. All these animal tracks. Deer. This is pretty open from this end. No doubt Jake is in his bivvy, in his sleeping bag, nice and cozy, waiting for me to make the fire. Yep, time to make some fire.
Well, we're shooing out. Can't wait to get home and appreciate a warm shower. Always a nice thing. Oh, Jake, looking for something. This sled he's pulling. Have a good one.